Hello guys, it's been a very long time, but I'm back and I'm here to stay. So today we'll be making this fine corset top. This is not a gown, this is corset top and skirt, and this came out so nice. I love how the blue color was just popping. You can see the lacing at the back, like it came out so well. So in this tutorial we'll be doing the sewing alone. I already have a video how to sketch and draft out the corset pattern for this. So right now I have gone ahead to use my pattern paper that I used for the other video to cut out the corset on my fabric. This is me placing it and trying to make sure that everything is all right. But if you are doing this, note that this line you have to notch it. That bust point line you have to notch it. If not you might miss the bust point. So after cutting it, remember this is on fold. I cut this fabric on fold, and this is my stay. As you can see, I've stayed on the fabric and only at the back. I did for only the fabric that I'm using. The lining I didn't stay it, but I stayed the breast part of the lining. That is the cupped part of the lining. And as you can see that my lining has the paper gum on it, the strong paper gum for the lining, not for the main fabric, the lining, so that it can help you to stand and carry your breast. So now I'll be opening up my fabric so that I can be able to pin it. I don't have to be confused when I want to stitch it together. This is me pinning the front part of the cupped corset. I'm pinning together so that I will know where to stitch. The reason why I'm doing all this is to stitch the right part to the right part. This is the back, this is the back side, so I'm pinning it with the front side so that when I want to stitch it together, I will not make mistake and stitch the wrong pattern to the wrong part. This would be so nice if you don't know your patterns very well yet. This would be so nice. So this is the cupped part of the corset. As you can see, I'm trying to pin the that notched area, that's your bust point line that you notched on your fabric. This is me trying to make sure that the both cupped part, that is the both down part of the cupped breast, the cup part of the corset is the same, like the notch part. I'll be repeating the same thing for the lining, and after stitching it together, this is the lining. Remember I said I didn't stay the lining, but the fabric, this is what it's looking like. And I've gone ahead to iron it open. Make sure that you iron your fabric open, both the lining and the fabric. Make sure that you iron it open. So after joining the cupped part, this is what it's looking like. When you are done joining yours, you should be able to differentiate where is the side and where is the center of this cupped part. And as you can see, I used a stay to let's say press down the seam part so that it will be flat and will not be bulging out. So guys, this is how I made my own strap. Like how I made this is 1.5 inch. The width of this is 1.5 inch. You can make the length any length you want, depending on your corset, how long your corset can be able to accommodate. You get, this is 1.5, and after folding half an inch in, what will now remain will be the bias that you use for your bony channel. As you can see, is very nice and clean as when you are making your corset. You should be after how clean and detailed it is. Like, that's what you should be after. So this is me trying to make sure that I iron it well before stitching it on my fabric, so that once I stitch it, I will not be having excess, or maybe having something that is not coming out well, something like that. So after doing that, I will be using ruler to lining where I'll be. So if I'm doing my corset, if I want to like lining where I will place my channels, or for my pony channels, I like using ruler and tape so that I can make sure that what is on my left is the same with what is on my right. That is, whatever I measure for the right, I measure it for the left. So for the back, what I'm going to do is to divide the back. That is, I'll find the center of my waist and divide it into two, not minding where I have joined at the back, not minding it. I will only, because this boning is, you're trying to control how much you will snatch on your body. So if you really follow the lines that you join on your fabric, you might not really get the snatched effect that you want to get. So guys, what happened was that I realized that I had another fabric that is blue. So I like the blue outcome on the fabric than the fabric itself. So what I did was redo the stripe and now placed it instead of the fabric that I'm using for the boning casing. So what I'm going to be doing now is to place that our cupped part. You have to place it. Make sure that the joining under aligns with the joining. That is where on your fabric, not on the boning channel. On the fabric, you have to make sure that it aligns, and you will do the same thing for the lining to lining, fabric to fabric. Don't I see some people do some extra thing that not required. It's not required. Lining to lining, fabric to fabric. You just pin it and stitch very carefully. If not, you will not really get it well. So this is what it's looking like after I was done stitching it. And as you can see, I was very careful. I had to do it off camera and do it very carefully. And this is my lining looking the same with the fabric. You have to make sure that everything connects. So right now, what I'm going to be doing now is to stitch the lining to the clothes. That is, find the center. That's number one. Find the center first. Make sure that the center is aligning with the from the fabric to the lining. As you can see, I'm trying to fold the hard paper gum part of the cup corset. Then what you're not going to do is to make sure that the edges align. As you can see, look very carefully. Make sure that the edges align very well. You then pin together, and also do the same thing for the other side. If you cut out your fabric and your lining very well, which means they are the same, you will not have anyone having excess. Note that I didn't stay my lining. I didn't stay it, but look how well it's rhyming with the fabric, because when I was cutting it, I cut the fabric and the lining the same. That is, I did cut it the same time. And after notching and making sure that everything is looking well, note that when you are sewing this upper part of your corset, open, like, well, let's say leave an opening where you will insert your let's say strap, sleeve. Like me, I'll be putting sleeve and a puff sleeve. So I will need to put where I'll put my yoke. So if you're going to put yoke like me, then you need to leave an opening, like a space where you can insert your yoke and sew it from inside. But if you're doing a strapless corset, you don't need to, just need to turn it over. So this is my yoke. I've gone ahead to cut the pattern on the fabric. Remember, I put allowances by the side throughout. This is my yoke, and I have turned my yoke. I turned it with fabric, not lining. I turned it with fabric, and as you can see, this is the front. I just pin it to see how it will look before I will stitch. Then you can see the back. Everything is just looking well. So what I'm going to do now is to go and stitch it and turn. So after stitching it and turning it, I added the sleeve at once because something happened, so I have to do it off camera. So I added the sleeve at once. This is just the balloon sleeve which everybody is used to. And now what I'm going to be doing now is to cover the down part. That is, you need to cut a strap I think maybe around 2 inches would be okay, depends. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I ironed one part flat. So you sew from the inside out. That you will sew as if you're sewing from the inside. Then you will now turn it to the front and sew from the front. That is when you sew from the inside first, then you now turn to the back. You now turn to the front and sew it as if you are turning a bias. That's what it's going to look like, and that's how neat it's going to look like. So I'll be going to the machine to do that, and after sewing that, this is what it's looking like. As you can see, the inside is very neat. There's no excess, there's nothing showing. I have gone ahead to put my loopholes, and as you can see, it's neat inside and it's neat outside. So I can't wait to wear this. So that you will see. And in case if your fabric is not Ankara, like the one I'm using Ankara, you, whether it's Ankara or not, iron it flat so that it can rhyme on your body. And also use the ironing to relax the boning so that it won't be like looking curvy or something like that. So relax it with the iron. Look how nice this thing came out. Like, look how nice it's looking. There's nothing like when you want to sew something and it came out so well, like the way you wanted it to. Look at the inside, very, very neat. As you can see, the loophole side is very, very neat. There's nothing that can beat neatness when you want to sew. There's nothing. This is the yoke at the back. I will go ahead and add the button so that I can be able to wear it when I want to wear it. So this is the final look. Like, I'm so in love. This is the final look of this corset, and I started mine with a flay skirt, which I wanted to do straight, and I was like, no, let me do flay, and it's short, so it's giving. So thank you for watching. For you to watch this extent, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching or first time coming across our video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much. See you next time.